From our studio in Georgetown, this is the TV Delmarva Channel 14 News at 4.
Good day, Delmarva. Reporter Rob Petrie here for TV Delmarva Channel 14 News. Straight ahead, Republican candidate Chuck Welch has officially withdrawn from the Attorney General race amid health concerns. The FDA has authorized a second COVID-19 booster shot of the Moderna and Pfizer vaccine for people ages 50 and older. And President Biden is in hot water after he was called out over comments he made about the war in Ukraine. These stories and more on the way, but weather first with Hunter Alton.
Well, good Tuesday afternoon, Delmarva. Well, at least it's not snowing today like it was yesterday. We're seeing much more sunshine across the area and a little bit of some warmer temperatures too. I mean, not all that warm, but at least it's somewhat of an improvement from yesterday. Taking a live look outside of TV Delmarva Studios here in Georgetown, Delaware. We have the blue skies. We're still dealing with some breezy conditions here and there as you see that camera rocking back and forth, but it's currently 39 degrees here in Georgetown. Take a look at some satellite and radar. We are looking at plenty of clear skies across much of the mid-Atlantic states, but we are going to be expecting an increase in those clouds as we head into the overnight hours tonight, out ahead of a storm system that will be impacting the region more on Thursday rather than tomorrow, but we are going to be looking at a warm front moving through tomorrow morning. It could be sparking up a couple of some isolated showers here and there, but at least warmer temperatures will be on the way to finish out this week. Now let's have a look at those temperatures elsewhere on Delmarva at this hour. Currently 39 degrees in Salisbury and Pocomoke City, 39 as well for Ocean City, 38 for Easton, 39 for Centreville, 39 as well for Dover and Wilmington, and currently 38 degrees up north in Newark. Take a look at some of the humidity out there. With the little bit of the breezy conditions we are seeing, we are definitely looking at some drier conditions, humidity values anywhere between about 30 and 40% going into this afternoon. And now take a look at those sustained winds, generally from the north and west, sustained anywhere between about 10 and 15 miles per hour, but a little bit stronger as we get closer towards the Atlantic coast. Sustained right now, 17 in Ocean City, 16 for Pocomoke City, and then you factor in those wind gusts, widespread areas of wind gusts over 20 miles per hour, currently gusting here in Georgetown at 24 as well for Salisbury, 22 miles per hour in Ocean City, 20 for Pocomoke City, 21 for Easton, 22 for Centreville, gusting to 24 in Dover, and the strongest wind on the shore all the way up north in Newark, gusting for the northwest at 27 miles per hour. Now we're finally going to be looking at some warmer weather to finish out this week, and as well as some thunderstorm chances on Thursday. I have more details regarding that storm threat in just a little while.
Republican candidate Chuck Welch has officially withdrawn from the Attorney General's race amid health concerns. In an exclusive interview just this morning, Welch confirmed speculation and rumors that he was dropping out of the race due to health concerns related to his diabetes.
Rob, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you about this instead of, just speculating and throwing things out there. I've been a diabetic for probably 25 years or so. And when I got into the race, I went to my doctor and I said, do I have the physical, ability to go ahead and complete this race and to go forward? And he told me I did. And I asked him about the diabetes, and we thought we could keep it under control. So during the race, given the lifestyle you're leading, I mean, you're up and down the state, your schedule's off, you got odd hours and things like that. My sugar kept climbing. And finally, last week, my doctor said, look, it's time to face it. We've tried different medications. We've tried all these different things. It's not working. And it's getting to the point your numbers are high enough. And it's been long enough. It's really going to start seriously affecting your health. So he said, this is something that you got to consider going forward, and you and your family better sit down and talk it over. And so after we talked it over, we just thought that, hey, staying healthy is more important than winning a campaign.
Do you think that your now former opponent, Julianne Murray, shares that same vision? Are you prepared at this time to offer your endorsement to her?
Well, I can tell you that she and I agree a lot on a lot of the issues. I just thought I was better prepared to go forward and run the office. I mean, that's why I started giving you initiatives. You had received my one on the reduction of violent crime, and we had a couple more to be ready to release. I mean, we were going full bore right up until the doctor told me, like, you really need to sit down and think about this. I'm not ready to endorse anybody at this time. I'm going to take some time off and think about the big picture. I'll probably help with some local campaigns, and maybe later on I will, but I'm not endorsing anybody at the current moment.
Meanwhile, the Food and Drug Administration has authorized a second COVID-19 booster shot of the Moderna and Pfizer vaccine for people ages 50 and up. And they've also received the previous booster at least 4 months prior. The move comes while a variant of the Omicron strain continues to spread in Europe and is found in the United States. However, states are reporting far lower numbers of infected individuals when it comes to the winter spike in December and January that we saw earlier this year. During that winter wave that was blamed on the Omicron variant, the CDC reports that the 2-dose vaccine was roughly 80% effective against hospitalization. That booster pushed that number to 94%. Previously, the FDA recommended a 4th vaccine for people 12 and up with underlying health issues and a weakened immune system. The new recommendations extend the booster to millions more. According to the CDC, who is expected to act on the latest recommendation, over 2/3 of Americans are fully vaccinated. Half of those have neglected to get the first booster vaccine. The Delaware Division of Public Health reports today that 94% of the population 18 and over are fully vaccinated. Only 67% of the eligible population is fully vaccinated. You can read more on the recommendation in the story on our website at tvdelmarva.com. Well, a Wilmington man has been arrested on charges of devising a plot to engage in interstate murder for hire. According to court documents, Javier A. Rodriguez, 47, hired a hitman to murder his ex-wife. Over the course of the investigation, Rodriguez made a down payment of $5,000 to another individual to pay for the hitman. Prosecutors say Rodriguez also agreed to pay an additional $5,000 once the murder was completed. He is charged by criminal complaint with a violation of the federal murder for hire statute and faces a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison if convicted. A federal district court judge will determine any sentence after taking into account the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors in this case. Rodriguez will be detained pending an additional hearing on the matter currently scheduled for March 31st. Well, wild turkey hunting season kicks off this coming weekend here in Delaware. Turkey hunting will begin this Saturday, April 2nd, with a one-day turkey hunt for ages 10 through 15, along with non-ambulatory hunters. Regular turkey hunting season will kick off the following Saturday, April 9th, and run through Saturday, May 7th. Hunting hours are a half hour before sunrise until 1 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with no Sunday hunting permitted. Only bearded turkeys may be harvested, and the bag limit is 1 bearded turkey per hunter each year, regardless of where and when those turkeys were harvested. For more details on turkey hunting, check out the full story that includes all the information you need for turkey hunting at tvdelmarva.com. Coming up, a new program will spend millions in an effort to attract businesses to Delaware. More details coming up. Don't go away. Well, the Delaware Council on Development Finance has approved 8 site readiness fund projects applications totaling $6.2 million. The projects are located throughout the state, with 3 in each Newcastle County and Kent County, with 2 in Sussex County. Established through Senate Bill 127, the Site Readiness Fund promotes economic growth and stability by investing in the development or improvement of commercial and industrial sites to attract job-creating businesses. The program provides grants, loans, and other economic assistance to qualified businesses or local governments that invest in constructing, renovating, or improving commercial industrial sites across the first state. This year's bond bill included $10 million to support the Site Readiness Fund. This is the first round of funding for the program. Well, it's looking like we're in store for increasing clouds and cooler conditions tonight as we get a preview of your pinpoint weather forecast with Hunter Alton.
More cooler conditions will be settling into the region tonight, although it won't be those frigid temperatures that we've seen over the last few days. A warm front will be lifting into the region tomorrow morning that may spark some isolated showers and warming temperatures throughout your Wednesday. We are watching for the potential of some thunderstorm chances on Thursday as well, because don't go anywhere, because when we come back, I'll have a look at that thunderstorm threat here on TV Delmarva Channel 14 News. Alrighty, let's get right into that pinpoint forecast. Going into the overnight hours, we are going to be looking at an increase in those clouds, and it's going to be left with some mostly cloudy skies. For the most part, going to be another cooler night, but it's not going to be as cold as it was this morning. Overnight lows 30 to 34 degrees, but the good news is the winds are going to calm down for just a little bit from the west at about 5 miles per hour. Take a look at Futurecast, rest of the overnight hours into the day on Wednesday. This is 8 o'clock this evening. Still got plenty of mostly clear skies for the most part. Temperatures are going to be starting to drop down into the upper 30s by this point. We do have a little bit of cloud cover over towards areas of the western shore of Maryland, including Washington and Frederick, Maryland. Temperatures are 39 and 41 degrees. Going into the heart of the overnight hours, though, we're going to be looking at an influx of clouds. Temperatures still fairly chilly, getting down to about 30 degrees here in Georgetown, all the way up to about 33 for Easton and Centreville. Going into tomorrow morning, though, we are going to be looking at a warm front that's going to be lifting up through the region, and then that may spark a little bit of some showers for areas of Easton, Centreville, just west of Dover, all the way over towards Westminster, Maryland, which we could be looking at a couple of snowflakes mixing in through there. But once this warm front begins to lift northward, we're going to be looking at some warmer temperatures getting back into the 50s again, which should be about average for this time of year into the early afternoon hours. We could be still looking at some isolated rain chances for areas north of Dover by that time period, but once we get into the evening hours tomorrow night, we're going to be looking at temperatures in the upper 40s to about 50 degrees. Still got plenty of cloud cover, but the winds are going to be switching out of the south too, so these temperatures are going to be consistently warming throughout the overnight hours tomorrow night, and eventually by Thursday morning, we could be looking at temperatures getting into the 60s, but at 2 o'clock Thursday in the morning, we're going to be looking at partly cloudy and mostly cloudy skies, but those temperatures have warmed up to about 55 degrees, but definitely more of an increase in those clouds by the time we get into the daytime hours on Thursday. Take a look at the Wednesday forecast overall, though. We're going to be looking at some mostly sunny skies. Watch out for some stray showers here and there. Warmer too, 53 to 57 degrees, but unfortunately the winds are going to return once again. But it's going to be a relatively warm wind from the south between 10 and 15 miles per hour. And with those warmer temperatures and that wind, allergy index for tomorrow's once again going to be in that medium high category, 7.1 out of 12. And it's going to be tree pollen as usual for this time of year, with your main allergens being juniper, maple, and alder. Now let's switch gears and take a look at the marine conditions for your Wednesday. Beginning with the Atlantic, we got mostly cloudy skies, 52 degrees, winds from the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour with seas of 1 to 2 feet. Take a look at the Delaware Bay. We got mostly cloudy skies as well, 54 degrees, winds from the southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour with seas of less than 1 foot expected. And then finally the Chesapeake Bay, mostly cloudy skies, 55 degrees, winds from the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour with seas of around 1 foot expected. Now, going into the overnight hours tomorrow night, we are going to be looking at some mostly cloudy skies once again, and a milder night ahead too. These temperatures are just going to be right around the midnight time period, 48 to 52 degrees, but we'll be consistently warming up all the way into Thursday morning to about 60 degrees, and it's still going to be breezy at times too from the south, between 10 to 15 miles per hour. And speaking of Thursday, the Storm Prediction Center does have all of Delmarva and a good portions of the Maryland Western Shore in a slight risk of severe weather. This actually has been a risk all the way since about Sunday, so we could be looking at a couple of thunderstorms that may produce some strong damaging winds, but there's still a lot of uncertainty regarding on what kind of severe threats are even expecting, or if we're even going to get thunderstorms at all, because it's all going to be the focal point of some very strong speed shear. This is the forecast at 850 millibar height and wind from the NAN 3 kilometer model, which is basically where the low level jet is. We got a nice bit of wind shear across areas of the Delmarva Peninsula and pretty much the mid-Atlantic states, 70 to 75 knots. And that's going to be kind of the main focal point for the severe weather, although we're not really going to be looking much in the way of instability. And then take a look at some of the precipitation forecasts. This is right at the end of the model too, 8 o'clock, that this is going to be a fairly overnight event because the cold front is still, by this time, 8 o'clock in the evening on Thursday, well off towards our west. We're just going to have to see what happens once we go into the overnight hours. There's still a lot of inconsistencies with the models. We'll have a little bit of a better idea going into tomorrow once we get more of the super high resolution model data, and as well as the severe weather models, the CAMs, to get a better idea on this. So we're going to be keeping an eye on things here and see what the severe weather threat evolves once we get closer to the day on Thursday. But regardless, take a look at that extended outlook. We have introduced those thunderstorm chances going into Thursday. Temperatures are going to be very warm too, getting into the lower 70s. We have a 60% chance of the scattered storms. Drier conditions going into Friday behind that cold front with mostly sunny skies and 60 degrees. Going a little bit cooler into this weekend, and we're going to be introducing some rain chances once more for Sunday. Temperatures at 59 degrees, and then we're back into the lower 60s once again for the start of the new week next week for Monday and Tuesday.
Coming up, President Biden is in hot water after he was called out over comments that he made regarding the war in Ukraine. More details straight ahead. Keep it here. President Biden is in hot water after he was questioned by reporters over comments he made about the war in Ukraine.
But I want to make it clear, I wasn't then, nor am I now, articulating a policy change. I was expressing the moral outrage that I feel, and I make no apologies for it.
Personal feelings?
My personal feelings. Secondly, you asked me about, what was the second part?
Complicate the diplomacy of this moment.
No, I don't think it does. You know, the fact is that we're in a situation where what complicates the situation at the moment is the escalatory efforts of Putin to continue to engage in carnage, the kind of behavior that makes the whole world say, "My God, what is this man doing?" That's what complicates things a great deal, but I don't think it complicates it at all.
Mr. President, I still want to get back to your original words that he cannot remain in power. Can you help us understand, you have more foreign policy experience than any president who has ever held this office. Whether those are your personal feelings or your feelings as president, do you understand why people would believe you, as someone commanding one of the largest nuclear arsenals in the world, saying someone cannot remain in power is a statement of U.S. policy? And also, are you concerned about propaganda use of those remarks by the Russians?
No and no.
Tell me why. You have so much experience. You are the leader of this country.
Because it's ridiculous. Nobody believes we're going to take down. I was talking about taking down Putin.
Weather Classroom is sponsored by No Nonsense Office Machines, committed to providing quality products and services with over 15 years of experience here in Sussex County. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's weather lesson, we will be talking about a brand new parameter we came up with here at TV Delmarva to help combat tornado forecasting within storms in the nearby future, known as the Tornadic Energy Helicity Index, or TEHI for short. Now, the Tornadic Energy Helicity Index is in the testing phases as of now, but this product is a tool to give a percentage of probability that storms capable of producing tornadoes, no matter what kind of storm mode they are associated with. Whether it be along a line of storms, which is very common here on Delmarva, and especially in the last 2 years within tropical cyclones, or your classic supercell thunderstorms. With a 0 to 10 scale, this is to help indicate the percentage chance of a tornado occurring anywhere in the lower 48. With a blend of different parameters with a very strict conditional in place, TEHI is to help narrow down significant indicators with the current science that we have available to us in today's world. A blend of different layers of CAPE, which is a measure of instability in the atmosphere, storm relative helicity in the lowest kilometer of the atmosphere, which is your low level wind shear, the cloud base height or lifted condensation level, any capping convergence, which is any stable layers within the atmosphere, or bulk wind difference, which is the wind shear throughout the entire layer of the atmosphere. Now the goal with TEHI is to gain a better precision of what severe weather events are forecasted with a tornadic potential. We will be able to give an easy to read scale of percentages for the general public to understand if tornadoes are a possibility in the near-time future.
Well, that about does it for us today, Delmarva. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at TV Delmarva and on our website, tvdelmarva.com, for real-time news and weather updates. And while you're there, be sure to sign our petition calling on the major cable providers to carry TV Delmarva on their platforms so we can provide this kind of hard-hitting local programming to all of Delmarva. Until next time, I'm Rob Petrie reporting for TV Delmarva Channel 14 News.